and done, we're never going to forget those of you that celebrated this. Those of you that cheered on while innocent families were ripped apart, while people were chained up at their workplaces. And honestly, I hope you're met with the same lack of compassion that you give us. And that's the only thing that brings me comfort right now.
I don't think black people have a right to tell white people or Hispanics what they can and cannot say, and that means if a black person wants to use the N-word, that means a white person also can use the N-word, because all lives matter, not just Black Lives Matter. And this is a great case as to how we need to stop cancel culture. It is anti-American, it is anti-free speech, and if you can say the N-word, so can I, whether you like it or not. It doesn't affect your freedom, but you're sure affecting mine by telling me that I can't say it because I'm not black. So, make the N-word great again.
Let me hold your hand when I say this. We do not move to America because we think it's a better country. We move here because it's a little less worse than our other countries. Because you're stupid to think that we moved to this country for some hot dogs and some baseball. We have better vibes, music, food, culture, history, literally all of the above. We just moved here because we are looking to make more money and offer a better chance for our families. Did you know that the minimum wage a day, not an hour, a day in Mexico is not even 15 American dollars? Not even 15 American dollars. Right now with $15 in San Diego, I could go maybe buy a matcha and half of a granola bar, honey. If you support ICE, you support people getting destroyed. If you support families getting destroyed, I hope you rot in hell. And I will see you there, babes.
How can you lack so much compassion? What if your mom, your dad, was immediately just taken from you? As a white person, as a black person, as anyone, how can you just accept that? This is not, fuck, bro. This is so unreal, and how can people just lack compassion? How? Why can't you just imagine yourself just waking up one day with your family not there anymore? And this is supposed to be life right now. We're not gonna get treated like humans because they don't see us like humans. They lack compassion. How can you lack compassion? How?
Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Nagira here. Thanks for clicking on this video. I would say it's quite interesting to see true colors of people, consequences, and for their
Tired. We told you. We told you.
like make it make sense, guys. Listen to what is going on. Come back and let me know your thoughts on it.
As a black person, as anyone.
It's not that black people don't see this as a problem. We know it's a problem. We know it's an issue. We're just tired. We told you. We told you, and not you as specifically you. We told you as the country what is going to happen. We knew this was going to happen, and people still voted him into office. You don't need to talk to black people and ask black people where we are and why we aren't doing anything and why we aren't standing up. Because black people have always been standing up. Black women have always been standing up. We're the ones that show up and show out every single time. We're the ones that when people go out to a party, that was the latest conversation. When people go to a party, they don't feel comfortable with a group of people around unless they see black people there, black women around. They tell their children, if you're in trouble, to go find a big black man because they know that person's going to help and take care of them. We know. We are tired of carrying everyone on our backs. That is what's going on. We are not standing up in the streets and protesting this because why? You say in that video, what if your family members were one day gone and you couldn't do anything about it? It happens to us on a daily basis. On a daily basis, our family members are getting slaughtered by police for nothing. Because of a black man getting killed by police, the largest Black Lives Matter movement in history around the world occurred because of black people. This is happening because of your people. Your people voted for him. Look at those numbers for who showed up and voted for Trump. Hispanics for Trump, Latinas for Trump. Those are the people who voted for him. We did our part. That is why you aren't seeing us in the street. It's not that we don't lack empathy or compassion. It's that we are tired. We have been there, done that. You also talk about how you are being hunted down and treated like animals. Let's not forget the pan-Atlantic slave trade that happened we were treated inhumane. We were treated like animals. That is why. We are tired. And the generation of the people we have right now, like me, talking, is because we are not our ancestors. We are not going to be repeating the exact same things that happened to us and allowing for you all to sit here and run us over. You guys did not do what you had to do to show up and show out and vote. I don't care. I don't know who you voted for. I don't care who you voted for. It's the Hispanic community as a whole. That's who you need to be talking to. You don't need to come over here and bring black people into it and why aren't black people and how could you not feel this way if you were white or black? Have empathy. Black people have empathy. We know. But we've been there and we've done that and we're tired. And so that's where we stand on this. And then on your first video, your part 1 video, you also said you just want to go back to how things were. You just wanted to go back to when there was peace. If you think that there was ever peace, that shows a privilege that you have. That is a privilege that you had as not being black in America, because there was never peace for us. Never. We could never walk into any workspace and feel 100% comfortable. We can never just walk outside our houses and feel 100% comfortable. We don't know what's going on. I'm 34 years old. As a child, I'm taught, if you get pulled over by a police, if you see police trying to pull you over, don't just pull off to the side of the road. Pull into a parking lot, a gas station where it's well lit, because you don't know who's going to pull you over. You don't know what that police officer is going to do to you. You don't know what that person at work is going to do to you. That is what we deal with on a daily basis. So no, we have empathy. We understand. But we're not going to go parade in the street anymore because it is somebody else's turn. And I hope that you hear what I'm saying and you take that in and you go and you talk to your people. You talk to other people about it. You guys go out in the street and you protest to get him impeached and to turn all of these things over that are happening with ICE, because that's not our job anymore.
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only one with the experience of civil matter. They are the only one que tenían el esclavo ahí mismitico. They are the only one that are not going to get deported anywhere, and you cannot put them all in jail. So African American community, which is the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American community that has not come out, because it is not. I do. We didn't do shit for them. I get it. But I do. Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them. Latinos look at Cubans specifically. I'm not going to talk about any other community because I'm not part of that community, even though I'm a Latina with them. Cubans talk shit about African Americans. Sure. Cubans did not support African Americans. Cubans think that they all victimize themselves, that all of this, all of that. African Americans are the only ones that are going to save your ass as Latinos. So you better start kissing. If you're gonna kiss some ass in this country, you better kiss some black ass.
Latinos of all backgrounds, do y'all not realize black people are not the only people in this country? You got your Chinese Americans, your Japanese Americans, your Korean Americans, your Indian Americans, your Muslim Americans, your white Americans, and your own people. So why in Davy Jones' locker are y'all so pressed and mad at us because we not out protesting? Folks, we did the most effective protesting last November, and the data proves it. We protested when it mattered the most. We were not out here with whole productions talking about some wee-woo-woo, foo-doo-doo-doo. Y'all was out here with that foolishness, knowing full well, that y'all had a few abuelas, a few tios, tias, mijo, and mijas in your house undocumented. But y'all got y'all behinds on stage talking about some wee-woo-woo, foo-doo-doo-doo. And you think we supposed to be out here protesting, picket fence in hand, pounding like some monkeys in a zoo? No, sir, Bob. We did what we were supposed to do. And y'all put y'all's own community in the position that it's in now. And y'all need to live with it.
So let me get this straight. Just so I could clarify it. You don't want to go back to Mexico. You're protesting to stay away from Mexico. But you're waving the Mexican flag and you're waving it with pride. You're waving it in the United States, the country you're trying to stay in, the country you don't want to leave. But yet you're waving the Mexican flag with pride. Okay? That seems normal to you? That seems logical? That's not stupid at all? None of that's stupid. Alright? You guys are an embarrassment to the Mexican culture and to the United States culture. You guys are an embarrassment to everybody around you, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Do better.
Black people are tired of being a bank where everyone keeps making withdrawals and no one ever makes a deposit. And I want you to think about that. If that was your setup, would you still want to give? Especially for those of us in the Hispanic community, because it's about patterns that we've inherited and the harm that we've ignored. Me, myself, I'm Puerto Rican. I've seen how anti-blackness and colorism still show up in our homes, in our language, in our media, in our families. In many families, darker skin is treated like a disadvantage. When solidarity is needed, hesitation shows what's been internalized, and too many of us were raised to believe that aligning with blackness meant losing something: safety, opportunity, acceptance. And we were taught the proximity to whiteness would protect us, that staying quiet was safer. So if we don't unlearn that, we end up repeating the same harm we say we stand against. So disengagement is not okay. What's happening to immigrant communities right now is devastating. I'm not taking away from that, and it does deserve compassion and support. But a good portion of that fear didn't come from distant forces, and it came from within our own communities. I've spoken out because I've watched people I know support systems that were never created for us to begin with. Systems that weren't designed to protect us, only to use us when it's convenient. So while I've raised my voice, I also know too many that have stayed silent. Or worse, they chose power. We don't get to ask for empathy if we're unwilling to confront the harm our silence helped protect. And contrary to popular opinion, holding each other accountable isn't betrayal. It's how we begin to heal. So to the black women and men that are saying we've poured into everybody and got nothing back, you're not wrong. You've carried movements, you've carried communities, you've carried generations without rest, without complaint, without question. And we cannot undo the silence that already has happened, but we can take responsibility for what happens next. I think people are not realizing we have way more similarities than differences, and we have more power together than we do apart. So look to your black brother or sister, look at them and say thank you, and I see you. Simple as that. Strike up a conversation, get to understand, because that's all they're asking for, to be seen and to be appreciated for all they do.
Alright, this message is for my brown people. And although as black folks decided to stick this one out because we did try to warn y'all at the polls, we do see that it's fucked up. California is a blue state. 66% of Latinos in California voted against Trump, but it's not enough. You gotta work on your people that hate us. And you gotta rally your people because they hate you like they hate us. And don't tell me this is not about race. There's over 500,000 undocumented immigrants in America from Poland or Russia or Germany, the UK, Italy, Ireland, all over Eastern Europe. But they're not joining the protest because they're not being targeted. America has always been obsessed with race. You burglarize and steal someone's home, make laws that only protect you, then get upset when they want to move back in. Talking about, we need to protect our borders. Most of you never even met a Mexican American, and if you have, they're probably doing a job that you would never want to do anyway. These ain't criminals. They're snatching up students and nurses and builders and farmers, electricians and plumbers. They got fucking armored vehicles pulling up on line cooks. You're separating mothers from their children and telling people who've been here for decades to just go and start a life somewhere else because you're uncomfortable. In their land. You just took their shit and was even too lazy to change the names. It's still San Francisco, San Diego, San Bernardino, Ventura, Calabasas, Rancho Cucamonga. But it's all in the name of law, right? Well, hanging people was law. Owning people was law. Segregation was law. Jim Crow, mass incarceration, redlining, stop and frisk. Law. Just because it's written don't make it right. You know Adolf had laws too. It's funny how you want people to follow the rules when they only benefit you. So let me get this straight. A man who was found guilty of committing 34 felonies is turning our troops against people who committed a civil violation. Being undocumented is a civil violation, not a felony. So who you put in office is far worse than any of these folks out here just trying to build a life in America. But y'all let him slide because he's white. I'm here in LA and not a single person died during these protests. 5 people died when they stormed the Capitol and those thugs were parted. Can you imagine if black and brown people stormed the Capitol? We wouldn't make it onto the fucking lawn before we got slaughtered. You naggers are all savages. You're tearing up property. Are you telling me that an insured Apple store or Louis Vuitton store is more important than the historic Capitol building of the United States? At least when black and brown people riot, it's for survival or civil rights. White America will burn a whole city down because their team won the World Series. So to all my brown brothers and sisters, coming from a people who's been fighting on the front lines for over 400 years, sacrificing our bodies so that Muslims and Asians and Africans and Indians and brown people can live a comfortable life in America, please realize that we are tired. A bit of advice. There is not a word that you can say to make those racists feel compassion because they do not view you as their equal. So keep protesting and going as hard as you can. And to the colonizers who agree with Mr. Trump, let me ask you a question. If all of your land is stolen and someone told you to go home, where would you go?
It's very sad that one thing that every race have in common is disliking black people. That's the one thing that every freaking race have in common is disliking us. But another thing they have in common is using us. Using us for our money and our sympathy and empathy. Because blacks, let me set y'all straight. Y'all feel sorry for people too fast and too much and at the wrong time. Y'all always, because I see some of y'all saying that the things that we saying we shouldn't be saying. Stop feeling sorry for people and stop letting them use your religion against you. Stop letting them use that God that they gave you against you. That's so weird to me. Y'all don't understand that the empathy and sympathy that y'all do have is been programmed. This is why you wind up feeling sorry for your enemies half the time, bruh. This is why you wind up feeling sorry for people that will not go into bed for you at all. Not one time, not one bit. You wind up feeling sorry for people that wouldn't do for you that you would do for them. So you start turning on your own people. The one thing those other races do have in common, they stick together. No matter right or wrong or indifferent, they will stick together. But they'll find something weak in us, which is a lot, to make us turn on each other, okay? And start saying, yeah, well, y'all shouldn't be saying that about the people. I feel bad. Yes, we feel bad that it's happening. But you think we about to go in front line because we feel bad? Baby, it take a little bit more feeling bad than for me to get up out there. So, at the end of the day, if we're next, we sitting there, we understand what we need to do. Huh? We're ready. Be blessed.
Well, guys, that
the blacks community, they are saying we are sitting this one out. The Latinos community, they are saying that they will never forgive the black community for the way they have responded during these protests in LA, during these demonstrations that are happening in America, because they're saying for a long time they've been assisting the blacks. But in this video we are looking